Before we start today's mailbag, do me a big favor right now and click that thumbs up button down below if you love the Denver Broncos. Now, I am live right now on our show, which airs every single Tuesday, so I'm answering questions from Tuesday during the mailbag, which we'll start off with Danny's question saying, worried about Greenlaw already getting hurt. So Dre Greenlaw did suffer a strained quad while working out. He is not expected to miss time in 2025. As a result, I'm guessing that they're going to be extra cautious with him during OTAs and minicamp. So it'll be a little bit of a downer not to see him on the field when, the whole team starts to get together for practice. But if he's ready for training camp, I'm not going to be upset or concerned about it. If he's not ready for training camp, at that point it'll be like 2 months from the injury, and then we can start to get a little bit uneasy, but let's wait until the end of July 1st. Danny, thank you so much for your question. Joshua Kirby, hey Petey, can we get your best guess at how many AFC West interceptions the Broncos' new no-fly zone will get this season? Only against Mahomes, Herbert, and Geno Smith. So 6 games between those 3 quarterbacks right there. I'm going to say they pick off Patrick Mahomes 3 times. Twice at home, once on the road, which might sound a bit ambitious, but, they had no issue doing that the last couple of times against him. Herbert, I'm going to say, give me 1 interception. 1 at home. Herbert's been very smart with the football, and that Harbaugh offense has not put the ball in harm's way. Geno, he was a bit more reckless last year. I'll go with 3 picks for Geno. Give me 2 in Vegas, 1 in Denver. So what does that equal out to? 7 picks altogether for Denver and a total of 6 games against their AFC West opponents. Aaron Gonzalez, what's going on? Do you think the Broncos take a step forward or do they take a step back to become a Super Bowl contenders once again? I think Denver in 2025 goes 10-7. So you can look at that as one of 2 ways, staying still, step back, step forward. I think the AFC West just got better with Pete Carroll and Geno Smith in Las Vegas. So those 2 wins you had last year are not going to be quite as easy this year. And you went 0-2 against the Chargers last year, and I don't think they're going to get any easier as an opponent this season as well. Should have gone 2-0 against the Chiefs, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. But at the end of the day, I'm going to say Denver goes 10-7, and it's not like a slap against them. I think it's just a reflection of, hey, the AFC West got a little bit tougher this year, and now teams are going to have a bigger target on you because they know to expect more out of you. Richie Baez, how strong is our special teams? Well, Darren Rizzi was the special teams coordinator in Miami, then in New Orleans for Sean Payton before he took over as the head coach, interim head coach, when Dennis Allen was fired. The special teams unit last year I felt like was good, not great. And it could have been great if they didn't have such boneheaded mistakes like just ignoring Alex Forsyth as a liability at the left tackle spot on the field goal, blocking unit or field goal blocking unit. So I think special teams with Marvin Mims as a return man and Rizzi just tightening all the other loose screws across the board is going to have Denver as a top 5 special teams unit in 2025. Richie, thank you so much for your question. Judson Cake, who are they getting rid of when they signed Travis? Is this the South Dakota running back? Probably nobody. I haven't heard anything about signing him, so unless I'm behind on the times, it would probably just be like a rookie minicamp invite. They did that last year with Ben DiNucci, and then he ended up making the 90-man. Well, he ended up being placed on the 90-man roster. He did not make the 53-man roster, so there might be 1 or 2 rookies that get invited to minicamp, but they don't have to, cross that bridge of finding a roster spot until they get there. Quentin Caldwell, and then we'll tell everyone about our friends over at Prize Picks. Do you think John FranklinMyers will get a new contract? They got to extend Nick Bonito, which they don't have to do it this offseason. I think a Nick Bonito extension happens midseason. They did that with Sutton. They did that with Tim Patrick. I could see that being a November extension for the Broncos. Zach Allen needs an extension. He's got 1 year left on his deal. That's a bit more of a priority to me. I think that happens over the summer. I think that happens in July or August. I think a Zach Allen extension gets done first. I think John FranklinMyers does not get a new deal before the season begins. I think they let that play out. They see where things go in the season. And if they can strike a little bit of a hometown deal with him, then they will. But at that point, if FranklinMyers is playing well, he may decide to wait till free agency. I think for Benito, Allen, and JFM, it's in that order for priority by Denver to get a deal done. Before we look at the other questions on today's mailbag, big special shout out to our friends over at Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to turn your sports knowledge into cash. With millions of members, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Every Tuesday, Prize Picks will discount several projections on the board, usually by 15 to 25%. They also have Flex Friday as well. They've got so many fun things going on. So, if you want to get started, head on over to Prize Picks. It's super simple to do. You just select more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. I put all this information down in the comments and description of today's video. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. Our next question coming in from Kenneth Kirkpatrick. What room are you most concerned with heading into training camp? Probably tight end, which sounds weird because Evan Ingram was a fun signing. Evan Ingram missed half the season last year. You are one Evan Ingram away from literally being back to the same top 3 tight ends you had a year ago, which was the worst production from any tight end room in the National Football League. We'll just do quick on the fly here. I don't want to speak this into existence, but I do feel like I'd be somewhat naive if I just acted that Evan Ingram is a guaranteed lock to play every game. So Evan Ingram in his career has missed 4 or more games in 1, 2, 3 out of 8 seasons. So it's not a huge percentage, but you are closing in on nearly a coin flip that he goes on IR at some point, right? That he misses 4 games at least. For it being about 40 to 45% chance of that happening just based on his career, I'd like to see one more addition made at that spot because I don't have faith in the rest of the tight end room to pick up the slack. Lord of Liberty. Hey, Petey. Hey. Do you think Peyton took Harvey so we can get explosives from another source other than Bo Nix's arm? The other backs seemed like platters. I think Sean Payton selected R.J. Harvey because he would fit the missing piece of that running back room well. Someone who has a little bit of physicality to their game, who has receiving upside, who can be spread around a little bit, who may not pop out in one specific area, but can work well in a committee backfield. If he wanted to get a true bell cow back, that would have been Caleb Johnson. That would have been Omarion Hampton. That would have been my preferred route. I don't see eye to eye with Peyton on the running back position. I like a bit more of an old school 3-down back. Someone who can kind of run into the ground a little bit. Peyton likes to spread the touches around a little bit. I don't fully agree with that methodology. I feel like a bell cow back, if I have a great bell cow back or a great committee, I'll take the great bell cow back. And I think there were some great bell cow backs out there. G-Trons. Pat's QB at Illinois seemed pretty bad watching Pat's highlights. Do you agree? And just how bad was he? This is Luke Altmire. He was not very bad. For Illinois, he was above average, competent. Is he someone? I think next year he's going to actually be a bit of a dark horse in college football quarterback world. So I don't agree with this assessment right here. I don't think he is a Heisman contender, or even if you don't feel like he has to be a Heisman contender to be good, I think he is a quality college football quarterback. Danny, what's going on, dude? Am I crazy to be more worried about the Chargers than the Chiefs this season? I see the Chiefs stuffing to get 9 wins. I mean, the Chargers are going to be good. Like, Harbaugh is a good coach. He just is. That team's not going to belly up. And he's in year 2 of getting his guys on that roster. And, of course, every single coach wants their guys. But Harbaugh's got a blueprint to the way he wants to do things. And he's got one more free agency class, one more draft class to get his type of guys in the building. So I don't think you're crazy for this. You'd be a bit of a fortune teller because I'm still going to pick the Chiefs until I am proven wrong. You know what I mean? So crazy, no. Ambitious, yes. And I can't get in that boat with you. But I admire the boat you're in because it took guts. I don't have that kind of guts right now. Aiden, how many primetime games do you think Denver will have this year? Ooh, I like this. One quick ground rule. In my personal rule when it comes to primetime games is I count all standalone NFL games as primetime games. If you are the only game on, you're primetime in my eyes. They may not fall under traditional broadcast definition of primetime, but if you play in London, if you play in Brazil on Friday, if you play Monday, Thursday, any of those nights, and you're the only one on, you're primetime to me because the NFL is saying we want everyone to watch you and only you. So with that being said, I think they are going to get a Thursday night game, probably a divisional game, right? They tend to do that a lot with Denver. They got 2 loud. They flexed them into the second one. I'm going to say they got a Sunday night game and a Monday night game. Holidays. Maybe they play the Chiefs on Christmas Day. Kansas City really wants to have Christmas Day be theirs. I'll go with 4. If they don't get a holiday, then they get a second Monday night or Sunday night game. I'll go with 4 standalone games for Denver in 2025. All right, that's going to do it for us on today's, you know what, one backtrack. They're going to end up playing 5. They're going to get flexed into 1. I think the initial schedule will have them down for 4 standalone games, and they will get flexed into 1. So 4.5. All right, that will do it for us on today's show. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you haven't yet, do me a big favor. Click that like button at the bottom and subscribe to the channel for more free coverage on your favorite team.